Okay, today I am going to review the Lathe Exercise 1 print. I'm going to get through this a little bit quicker than, of course, I did the tutorial because I kind of showed you and explained a lot of things in the tutorial. Well, in this exercise, we're actually going to be just utilizing those. So I'm going to go through it pretty quick, and this is going to be a pretty short video. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is begin by selecting my lathe. And I'm going to go to Default Lathe. I'm going to go to Planes and go work on my DZ plane. And then I am going to start drawing my part. Okay, so once again, I'm going to use multi-line. And I'm going to start at 0, 0. Enter. Alright, so I got my 0, 0. Looks like the first diameter is 625.625, 0. Enter. 0.625, comma, negative 0.375. Enter. 0.875, comma, negative 0.375. Enter. And then we have 0.875, comma, negative, and now we have 375, so we have 2 inches overall minus a ½ inch, so it's going to be basically 1.5 inches, so it would be negative 1.5. Enter. And then we go to 1.375, comma, negative 1.5. Enter. And 1.375, comma, negative 2.0. Enter. Okay. And there we go. That is the basic outline of our part. We are finished. So I'm going to hit check. And all I need to do is add some radii. In this case, they are going to be 1/8 inch. So I'm going to go in, change this to 1/8 inch. And we're going to add those on there. Okay. And hit check. And that looks good. That is our part. Alright, the next thing is basically we're almost ready for toolpaths. Now we need to go to our stock, set our stock up, and I change my plane for my stock so that it matches where I'm working. Hit check. And then I'm going to change my properties. Okay, so my properties looks like I'm 1 3/8. I'm going to say that I have 1.5 inch stock for this. So 1.5 inch. Length, I'm going to keep it 4 inches. And I'm going to use my margins and give myself a 0.01 right margin. Now, you notice that I did the length a little bit different from what I did in the tutorial. This is just fine. So this length will be fine. It's just going to do it a different way. I could have just made this 2 inches and changed it to a left margin. Either way is okay. So I'm going to hit check, and there's our stock. Alright, so beginning, I'm going to go to turning, and the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is face our part, and change this to 5,000, and I have the right tool, and I'm just going to hit OK to this. That's fine. And then setting this, all this stuff here is fine. I don't need to change anything in there except for where. And I'll hit check. Okay, so we faced our part. Next thing I'm going to do is rough. And it's going to select down here and right there. Come in, select my roughing tool, which will be this one. Change this to a 5,000. My roughing parameters, I'm going to make this 50 thousandths. I'm going to leave 10, so all these are all set correctly at the moment. One thing I do need to change is my lead out. I want to extend that about 0.145, or extend my contour, I should say, 145. Hit OK, and I also need to change to where. And I want to turn my stock recognition on, of course, and hit check. And there we go, that is roughed. Okay, next I'm going to do the finish. Oops. Finish. Okay, for the finish pass, I'm going to select down here, reverse that, and hit check. Okay, I'm going to use a profile tool. Change this to 5,000 once again. And everything in here looks good with one exception. I need to change this extend boundary, or extend my contour. Again, the same amount, 0.145. All right, so that is changed, and this needs to be where. And hit check. Okay, that looks good. Next, I am going to cut it off. So I'm going to select the end of that line, and I'm going to pick my right-handed narrow 125 cutoff. Again, this is going to be 5,000. And all of this stuff looks good. I need to change this to from stock. I'm going to retract from stock. And I'm going to do a corner geometry here. I'm actually going to put a radius on the back of this one since we did a chamfer last time. So I'm going to do 0.03. And of course I need to turn my clearance cut on from that. From stock. Okay. And all of the rest of this stuff looks good. I'm going to put my wear on and hit check. And there we go. That should be a complete part. So let's run that. And that looks good. Got a nice radius on the back side. You can see all the lines very clearly, so that tells me I cut it to size. And that is a good part. So last thing I want to do is I just want to make sure of one thing, and that is that my update keep both pieces. Check. And regenerate that. Okay. And that's it. So if you have questions or anything like that, feel free to email me or talk to me in class.